We've traveled 2,500 miles in the last week, and we're visiting friends in Tucson, and we have someone special who has a Nissan Leaf, and she's going to tell us all about her Leaf experience in Tucson, Arizona.
I bought my Leaf used in 2020 or 2021. It's a 2017. It had 33,000 miles on it. It had come from California, which is where most of them come from, or used in Arizona. It has been one of the best decisions that I've made for myself so far as cost and efficiency for getting myself to and from work. I have a 7-mile commute and have been absolutely thrilled with the performance. The worst part of adjusting to my Leaf was the lack of noise. I hadn't realized how much the engine noise helps you know how fast you're going in an internal combustion vehicle. And so the first couple of months I had it, every now and then I'd be thinking about something else, glance down, I was going 80 miles an hour when I wasn't supposed to be. And so that was unfortunate, and that was the learning curve, but I never actually had to pay for my error on that. There is a known design flaw with this model for a place like Arizona in that they don't have climate control for the battery. And it's not designed to run in 110-degree weather, which we have on a regular basis, well, every summer now. So I've had the battery replaced recently. It was under warranty. Nissan handled it impeccably. For in-town traffic, I couldn't ask for a better car for me personally. I have a tendency to use my foot and jump into traffic in places. This car has the jump to get me out of the unfortunate situations that sometimes my boldness gets me into that perhaps I should. I have absolutely zero regret about buying my car. I charge it at night. I just plug it in when I need to.
What do you plug it into?
Just a 110 regular outlet that's in my carport.
And so you have a covered carport.
I have a covered carport that has that outlet. I live in community. I pay a small fee for unlimited charging and do not have problems. There are fast chargers around town that I use periodically, and there's a lot of free charging around Tucson that at movie theaters and that kind of thing. If I find myself out and I've run more errands, if I can find a movie theater, there's usually free charging there.
So if you find yourself out, what's the range on this battery that you've got in here?
This battery, it looks like it's 120 to 140. I haven't figured it out totally because I haven't charged it to 80% yet, so I can't really do the math.
But most of the time, the 120 level 1 charging at home
Oh, absolutely.
covers.
Mm-hmm.
I've not had any real problems with that at all. I do have an extension cord in case I'm someplace like at a friend's house or something, and I want to plug in to get, if they're 60 miles out of town and I want to make sure that I'm comfortable getting back, then I can just, plug it in and not worry about anything. I do have an adapter so I can plug it into people's dryer plugs if I want to charge faster, because that's going to give me 240.
Mm-hmm.
But I have only used that, I think, twice.
Mm-hmm.
But I really believe that buying this little car for me personally was one of the best ways that I could have addressed my transportation needs in Tucson on a cost-effective basis.
And what's the significance of this Blue Cloud license tag that says alternative fuel?
Well, first off, it's $40 for a 5-year tag.
Okay. And that's because it's an EV?
because it's an EV, and there are no emissions. Emissions testing is the main thing that they do after a certain point when they do your vehicle inspections.
Mm-hmm.
Additionally, in Arizona, the blue cloud or the blue sky tags can get you into the HOV lanes even if you're a single person.
So you can just be alone in the car?
Yeah, and go as fast as you want.
Cool. All right. Any questions?
Does the air conditioning work pretty good?
Yes, it does. But I don't tend to use it as much because, frankly, it does take a lot of charge.
All right.
But the air conditioning works great.
How many miles are on?
Right now it's got 50. When I bought it, it had 33.
Have you had to do anything else to it?
I've had to buy tires. I live in Tucson, so right now I've got new covers coming for my wheels because we've got a lot of potholes and stuff.
They just fall off in the potholes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's Arizona, I had to replace my windshield wiper blades more frequently than I have in other climates.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got to put washer fluid in and buy tires, and that I think is all I've done.
Has anybody ever tried to charge you for an oil change?
No. That hasn't happened.
That's
But I'm
awesome.
looking forward to it, and hopefully it'll happen when I really need a laugh.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much.
One additional thing that I want to mention is Tucson, being as close to the border as we are, has a lot of vehicle thefts. A lot of vehicles get taken, and they say south of the border and taken apart for parts. One of the interesting things about this car and all of the EVs in Tucson is they are simply not candidates for that treatment. So we have a much lower theft rate, and that is actually given Tucson reflected in our insurance costs.
Oh, so your insurance?
Yeah,
There's
this is a high insurance place for
Right.
particularly highly targeted vehicles. Doesn't make the list.
Oh, wow, that's great. So if you live in Tucson, you want to consider having an EV
Absolutely.
for a lot of reasons. All right.